Hello there, HubSpotters. This is John here, and I'm one of the facilitators with the go-to-market enablement team, and I'm making this short little video here about the sales automation tools and sequences specifically. So the sales automation tools as a whole are basically used to automate your interaction with leads or automate your interaction with prospects. The automation tools does include workflows, which you can use to assign leads or rotate leads between your team, create tasks for yourself, and send out some marketing information. Whereas today we're going to be focusing on the sequences, which has to do with one-to-one communication specifically. So in the sales automation tool, you can see the ideal use case here is all about automating follow-up. It's about putting time back in the day of the salesperson and about making sure that nobody slips through the cracks or gets forgotten, and that the automatic emails are sent out, tasks are created for the sales rep to follow up with, and that everything is tracked and done automatically. Alongside this, we can also personalize and tailor our automated emails to make sure that we're reaching out to the customer on their specific pain and their issues as well. So again, the fact, although it is automated, it is not going to be a blanket response thing. We will personalize emails for customers and use templates to make sure that we have the best balance between preset responses and personalization tokens, which we can use in the emails themselves. And again, in combination with workflows, we can use sequences to streamline the sales process as well. So to actually access sequences here, the first thing we do is we go into the navigation bar, automation. We can see sequences and workflows here. I'm going to talk very quickly here about the difference between sequences and workflows and why it's important. So workflows is used for lots of different things: record management, updating properties, lead rotation as well. But workflows, in terms of reaching out to a contact, is all based on marketing emails. So we can send out marketing emails or automated marketing emails to contacts via workflows, whereas sequences is for sales emails specifically. So in terms of the way emails are sent, marketing emails has certain restrictions on them in terms of spam, whereas sequences will send out one-to-one emails. So we only really send sequences to prospects who have already shown an interest and we are following up with in terms of our sales process. Now into the nitty-gritty of how these actually work. So we can see some of the sequences I've created here, example ones here. I'll go into the prospecting one, and we can view this here. We can actually, if we click into, where is it gone? If we click into edit or actions, we can see what we can do there. We can share it, clone it, move it, delete it. And when we go into edit, we can see the steps that have been laid out. We have steps, settings, and automation. In terms of this sequence here, we see 5 total steps. We can see the days to complete and the unenroll criteria that we have in place. But the steps that the contact will go through here is that the contact will need to be enrolled into the sequence. Then on day 1, they will receive an automated email with personalization tokens, which we can edit here. So edit email, we can add this here. Or if we wanted to add a new email, we just click the plus icon here and we can decide whether we want to send an automated email, set a task for the sales rep to send a manual email, or set a task to call the contact or call the prospect, or a general task for the sales rep to follow up on, or we can link in with the sales navigator as well. But yes, back to in terms of this particular sequence and what it will do. So day 1, we will send out an automated email. Then there will be a delay of 2 days. And so 2 days after the initial email is sent, a task will be created for the sales rep to call the contact, and leave a voicemail. And then after that call has been completed, you can see there's an option here to pause the sequence. So we can do a thing where we can, if we click into edit here, we can actually edit the task and say pause the sequence until the task is completed. So in other words, the contact won't progress through the sequence to the next step until that call has been made and marked as completed as well. And we can set priority and queue for there as well, task queue if we want. But yeah, and then we can outline the rest of our follow-up and the timeline of that follow-up within the rest of the sequence. So we can follow up with them 2 days later and then 1 day later, and those days in total will cover the 7 days here. So the really useful thing with this tool is that it is useful for sales reps to personalize their own approach. They can set their own timelines, the amount of steps that they want to do in terms of their own follow-up, depending on their own sales process and sales timelines. They can also tweak and edit them after they've been set up. As I said, there's the icon here, the little plus icon. You can add tasks in between if you wanted to tweak or edit your prospecting or your sequence there. Or additionally, if you say your company has a standard sequence that they use or they recommend, you can clone that sequence and make your own changes to it. And also you can edit emails in situ here. So edit email, you can make some changes to the email here. Or what you can also do is if you wanted to add an email, let me show you here, automated emails. And an automated email, this links up directly with your email templates, which would be here in the conversations and templates. So these templates will be pre-set up. You can set them up yourself. Again, you could clone the company's basic standard template and make it personalized, make it your own, and then you can follow up on your prospects or your contacts that way as well. Then lastly, thing I'll show you here in terms of actually enrolling a contact in here into the sequence. You can do it from the contact record, or you could just go onto the contacts index view page here, click the box beside the contact's name. Here we have Max, and then you can enroll in sequence here. It will ask you then which sequence you want to enroll in. You can select that one, and then the sequence will begin, and then 7 days later, exit the sequence, pardon me. Very, very last thing I just remembered here is that we also have to bear in mind unenroll criteria for sequences. And this is very important because obviously we don't want to spend time reaching out to people who don't want to be reached out to, who've already replied. So if we go into the automation settings here, we can see that any email reply to an email in this sequence will unenroll the contact. So if a contact replies to the sequence, that's when they'll enter your personalized space again. You'll have to manually follow up and they will be removed from the sequence. Or if they have booked a meeting, we'll unenroll them from the sequence as well. We also have options here about additional unrolling, but this can be customized to your own needs. And again, settings here will also allow you to execute on business days only, set up, make sure that the automated emails are sent out at a specific time zone for your user, so we're not reaching out to contacts when they don't want to be contacted, and that tasks can send reminders as well. So we have lots of options here. Again, it's all about automating your follow-up, being able to customize your own follow-up, and making sure if you wanted to standardize it for a company or standardize it for all of your reps or for your team, you have the option to do that with sequences as well. All the best. Bye-bye.